guys, so today we're looking at weather mapping. So what exactly is a weather map? A weather map is a snapshot of conditions at a particular time over a large area. So, symbols that you might see on a weather map. These universal symbols are things like fronts, cloud cover, wind direction, and air pressure. Now, here we have a review of our weather map symbols for fronts. A warm front, cold front, occluded front, and a stationary front. So here we have those fronts in action. So we have these symbols for warm front, cold front, stationary front, and occluded front, and they're scattered throughout the map based on the area that they're affecting at the time. Here we have cloud cover symbols. Now, if you notice, it looks very similar to pie charts. So if we have an empty pie or an empty circle, so to speak, that means there's no clouds over that area. If we have just a teeny line down the center, then that's meaning we have about 1/10 cloud coverage. If again 1/4 is covered, then that's about 1/4, and so on and so forth. So how much of the shape is shaded tells you how much cloud coverage there is. So now that we know what the cloud cover symbols are, let's talk about the lines that extend from the cloud cover symbols. The lines coming off the cloud cover symbol are called wind bars. They tell the direction the wind from the end point of the line. So they're telling you the direction that the wind is blowing. For instance, in this example, the wind is blowing from the east towards the west. Other symbols that you might see on a weather map include high and low air pressure. A high pressure system is a dense air mass that's cooler and drier than the air surrounding it. You would experience fair weather here. A low air system, or a low air pressure, is not as dense as the air mass, and that's wetter and warmer than the surrounding air. You would experience clouds and storm. Here are other symbols that are representing air pressure. There's an anticyclone, which is abbreviated for the letter H. Air moves away from anticyclones. They rotate clockwise around the area with the highest pressure. When you see this, this indicates clear weather. A cyclone, air moves towards this. It rotates counterclockwise around the area. Lowest pressure here. Rainy and stormy weather is what you'd experience. Now, there's instruments that are used to measure weather satellites, balloons, stations, and radars. They all come together to help give us the information that we need to accurately predict the weather. So our first instrument we're going to look at is a weather satellite. They orbit the Earth in the exosphere, taking pictures to help us measure things. They measure things like temperature, humidity, wind, speed and direction, clouds, and weather systems. When we get that information from weather satellites, it often looks like this. Weather balloons are next on our list. They carry instruments into the upper troposphere and lower stratosphere to help measure temperature, humidity, and air pressure. Now, attached to these weather balloons are instruments called radiosondes. This instrument hangs down from a weather balloon and collects and sends the data back to us. Our next instrument is a weather station. Weather stations are observation posts where data is collected. This data is about temperature, air pressure, rainfall, wind, and humidity. Here we have what that weather station data looks like when it comes in. Temperature, wind speed, wind direction, and other things are all collected. Here we have an example of what a weather station might look like. Our next weather instrument is a radar. Radars are systems that gather information about precipitation by bouncing radio waves off of objects. There's a transmitter that emits pulses of microwaves. The precipitation scatters these waves, which then sends energy back to the transmitter, where it is detected by the radar's receiver. One of these types of radar is known as a Doppler. It's a special high-powered antenna that rotates and sends out pulses or radio waves from a tower. Computers combine radar info as well as a map to show where storms are occurring. Now, who uses all of this information? Forecasters, of course. They're known as meteorologists. scientists who study the causes of weather and try to predict it. So, what's done with all that data? There are a number of different types of maps that they can make to help them forecast the weather. One type of weather map is a forecast map. Here, this is a predictive model telling us what the weather is going to be in a particular area. Here, we have another type of map known as a temperature map. It's telling us what the degrees are in various states and places. This weather map is known as a wind and speed map. It tells us where the wind is and what direction it's blowing in. This weather map is a precipitation map. Here, it's telling us where the precipitation is happening and how much. Our final weather map we have here is a cloud cover map. Here, it's showing us where the cloud coverage is and exactly how much there is. Hey guys, we did it! Only one set of notes for the week. Great job!